The passing of time brings few changes to the native people of New Guinea. Laws and customs endure without variation, thereby proving their value in constancy, governing a way of life that is lived by a satisfied people. India has its holy cows, Gibraltar its apes, and Durban its monkeys, but in New Guinea it is the pig which holds the exalted position. This animal is the food, currency, and pride of its owner, and to be born, married, or die in a village without the pig taking a part in the consequent ceremony is almost impossible. Unlike the holy cow of India, however, the pig has only one ultimate function in life. Sooner or later, he enters the cooking pot. His high status does not keep him immune from his master's need for food, and on occasions of rejoicing and feasting, the native kills and cooks all the pigs he can afford. One such occasion is the Festival of the Pig, which seldom takes place more than once in 2 years, for the feasting is extravagant and requires long periods of saving and preparation. A year before this festival is held, the men play bamboo pipes called Winnamambu, wearing ceremonial markings and adornments. The tribesmen play to the spirits so that the pigs will grow large and fat. Thick fronds are skillfully planted to make a covering for the roof of a hut. Not only do the hosts provide food for their guests at the festival, but also a place for them to live during the days of celebration. As many as 1,000 pigs may be killed for the occasion, and the revelry will not conclude until the last one is eaten. A sacred house known as a bodlum is always the first task of the builders. Within its walls, the tribesmen will make an offering of pig flesh to their spirits before the festival begins. Thatching is woven over the framework of each roof in a remarkably short space of time. Yet no matter how swiftly the deft fingers may dispose of these yellow bundles, there are always plenty of fresh supplies arriving. The guests are also beginning to arrive, even before the preparations are quite completed. Many of them extravagantly arrayed for the occasion, and all in a festival mood. There are some white visitors among the crowds of excited natives who have gathered with their families from far and near, the men to feast, dance, and sing, the women to prepare food, cook it, and provide an admiring and appreciative audience while the men are dancing. Firewood is carried to the feasting ground and built into a large square. Large stones are placed upon it and left to become fiercely hot in the blaze, which is utilized at the same time by those preparing meal in the heavy black meal pots. Meanwhile, pits are being dug in the earth nearby, and these will become ovens when the heated stones are placed inside and covered with meat, wrapped carefully in leaves. Water will be poured in, the oven sealed off with more leaves, and the meat left to steam slowly until it is cooked. The host must be sure that there is plenty of meat, for he will certainly be obliged to repay in full the generosity of those who have previously invited him to be a guest at their own pig festivals. The host will recall with amazing detail whatever he has eaten at other feasts, and will be able to repay each individual debt correctly, down to the last small piece of pork. Leaving the cooking in the capable hands of the women folk, the men begin to dress for the dancing. Each plume, shell, bone, or marking must be applied to the wearer with meticulous attention to detail. First, a cape of human hair is placed on the head of a dancer and carefully tied into place. It has been smeared with red and yellow pitch, which contrasts vividly with the black hair. Next, a cluster of small feathers are set into place and prove effective in contrasting very clearly the gorgeous hues blended richly in these bird of paradise plumes that crown the headdress. Then a fur pelt is placed across the forehead and fastened securely behind. Above this, a woven band studded with bright green beetlebacks is set into place. And for a final touch that is in keeping with such splendor, 2 bones are slid through a hole in the nose with additional matching feathers to set them off. Soon the dancers assemble in their finery, a number of young girls among them. Although the display and dancing is primarily enacted by the men, it is an excellent moment for a girl to appear with her beauty enhanced, to be admired by the tribesmen, and possibly influence a more favorable offer for her hand in marriage. The dancers gather in numerous groups when the drums begin to beat, each group eager to outshine the other in the excellence of their dancing. For the movements of the festival dance, though simple in themselves, require timing, grace, and coordination. In the background, the women work on quietly, cooking and preparing the great quantities of food needed to match the appetite of such a gathering, while the men give themselves up to each phase of the celebration. Now the moment is at hand. They must feast and dance their fill. It will be 2 years before they are able to enjoy another festival of the pig.